Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hey, welcome back to the Be Happy Now show. I'm Claudia-Sam, and this episode, I wanted it to be a mix of an offering, a meditation to find your own rhythm, as well as a quick conversation about consistency and what the ego actually sees as consistency and the myth about consistency. So we're going to quickly glance on the topic of having our own rhythm, our own cycle, and what it looks like, that myth of consistency, and how can we bring in more presence so that, well, actually, we're just more in the flow and we are more in alignment with who we are. It's important for me, this topic, because the flow in itself is something that I've personally resisted for a really long time. And the reason I've resisted it, I think it's not my fault. It's the fact that the society in which we live in is very masculine, go, push, show, prove, work harder, don't cry, or I'll give you something to cry about. It's very only masculine, you know? And the flow, not only is it feminine, it has a cyclical energy of change, of it's not always the same, of there's not only one right way. And so my ego human self has always thought that there was a way to better my life, to do it the right way, to do it right, really. And the flow of even my menstrual cycle keeps showing me that there's no one right way. There is no one cycle that is the same. If we take the seasons, for example, we have 4 different nature seasons, and there may be some beliefs like, okay, when I'm in summer, that's when I take the vacation, or when I'm in summer, that's when I have the most energy, so that's when I work the longest. When I'm in winter, I hibernate, I don't talk to anyone, the days are low, the days are shorter, so I don't really commit to anything. Maybe there's like these standing beliefs and patterns about how you see nature. And maybe there are these standing beliefs and patterns as to how you see your own rhythm and your own cycle. As women, we have the menstrual cycle. Even if you're past menstruation, there is the cycle of the moon that you get to anchor with. Men have this 24-hour cycle. And I've spoken with men who have kind of proved that, or they've agreed, and they've shown me that, yep, that's true. That totally relates to me. And for me personally, my cycle is give or take 28 days. And for some, it may be longer and shorter. And there's no one right, perfect cycle. Even when you learn about menstruality, we will hear that it's 28 days, that it's X amount of days for this phase and X amount of days for the other phase. But in truth, it's not really how it looks. It's not always that clear cut. And when we're talking about reaching goals, you know, we're near the end of the year, and you may feel like it's very close to your heart to start setting intentions and aligning yourself with a vision and with goals that you want to achieve. And maybe you even feel like, oh, I'm not where I want it to be. Maybe there's some self-judgment and blame. And just so you know, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever you're experiencing at this time of year is fine. And what I'm going to offer up today is a meditation to help you feel grounded and find your own rhythm. And I'm quickly going to tell you about this myth about consistency and the conversations about consistency and the dance between ego and soul, and consistency in the soul spiritualness of the thing. Because, okay, I'm just going to go right into it and let you know that if you want more of these soul conversations, I host in my Tune and Journey growth group monthly soul calls. These are aligned. These are part of aligning yourself with love, with your true essence, with your soul self. And we have these conversations, these deep spiritual conversations, so that you can keep choosing love over fear in a consistent way. And that is the work that we do. If you're curious about Align and you want to know, ooh, I'm curious about A Course in Miracles. I'm curious about how I can have a spiritual mentor, how I can deepen my spiritual practices, and just get curious about what it looks like to have these conversations in a safe and supportive way, then you'll find the link in the show notes, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Go to claudiasamsoulcoaching.com/align, and you get to fill out a quick application form to get curious about where you're at on your growth journey and how Align may be a fit for you. Okay. When it comes to consistency, here's something that I've come to realize is that up until now, consistency might have meant for you not be knocked off track by life, to be consistent, meaning to prevent emotional upheaval, to block other people's demands and the outer world's timelines. Consistency may have meant to stay steady with commitment to a physical, tangible goal so that you have proof of success. Commitment may have meant that it has to be one way and you could never do it differently, because then you would be doing it wrong and you wouldn't never be reaching your goal. Consistency up until now may have meant for you that it's kind of based in a future vision of what life will be. So you keep reaching for that thing later, and it's built on fears or evidence of how the past have gone, because then you only allow yourself or give yourself permission to envision what you see as possible. But what we see as possible, what the human sees as possible, is from the human eyes, and the human sees very limited. Like the human sight is very limited. And the invitation to find your own rhythm and to access your soul self is to change the way that you see consistency. So from now, my invitation for you is to invite consistency to look like this: allowing the ebbs and flows of life, feeling the emotions, allowing other people's demands and the outer world's timelines to just be there, but not to change your inner world. Consistency from now gets to mean that you choose and choose again to realign with love, to realign with your energetical commitment, so that it keeps changing based on what the now holds for you, not based on the fears of how it will look like maybe if you do that thing. What if consistency from now on was you choose and choose again to realign with your energetical commitment, so that the change that keeps happening is based on your present moment experience? And the now, what it holds for you based on what your mind is thinking. And A Course in Miracles says, my mind holds only thoughts that I share with God. And please know that A Course in Miracles uses the word God because God is love. And if it triggers anything within you, or if you have any associations to religion and you start judging the word, just recognize that this is just an internal story creation that's happening for you, and you are a meaning maker. So you get to decide what you want certain words to mean. And when we have these soul calls within Align, within the tune-in journey of really reconnecting to your soul self, we get to really create the meaning that we want. And consistency from now in this allowing of presencing with what is, it's like not negotiating with reality. Oh, it's windy outside. We're not going to go put a boulder. Like yesterday, it was so windy and I wanted to sit outside and, prepare my Align presentation out under the umbrella, sitting outside. And it was so windy that I was not facing reality. I was trying to negotiate with it. So my umbrella was flapping all over the place. And I was for sure, if I kept it open like that, it would have broken. And it's brand new. Like for 4 days, we've had the umbrella to hide from the really strong sun. And so I would have broken the umbrella because I would have kept entertaining the thought, that it's not really that bad. It's not really windy. It's not really windy that bad, like that strong. But I'm negotiating with reality. And when we keep consistency and when we hold the meaning of consistency as you need to push through and hustle and work so hard that you work yourself to the bone, you're not in the present moment, because the present moment would probably tell you that something's off and that it just doesn't feel in alignment. So what could it look like if you allowed the part of your mind that's not the ego, the part of the mind that can receive your intuition, if you allowed that part of your mind to be a channel for what feels good to you, what would consistency look like for you? You know, Byron Katie, in her book, Loving What Is, says, when we stop opposing reality, action becomes simple, fluid, kind, fearless. She says, it hurts when I argue with reality. So for me, instead of being really angry that I couldn't sit outside and work while it was super windy, I brought my computer back inside. I shut the umbrella and I went in the back where it's more sheltered and there's less wind. It's just a different view, but I didn't argue with reality. I didn't try to push through. I just shifted. I changed my environment. That's it. You get to do the same when you're about to set intentions, when you're setting goals, when you're aligning with the energy of the vision that you want to create, especially as we enter a new year. There's like this big manifestation season, and it's not that it's bad. It just can bring in the belief that we didn't do it good enough this past year. And that's not what I want to invite you to do. I'm going to right now share a meditation with you to help you find your own rhythm so that you can really allow yourself to utilize this meditation whenever you feel like you're about to only lead from the part of the mind that's the ego. If you're about to only take action from a place of hustling and pushing and working hard, like that masculine energy, the thought and the belief that there is no cycle and that you always have to be in the same rhythm the whole way through, like that's a misconception. Okay, that just really is a misconception. And the myth that I was telling you about is thinking that consistency is this magical recipe outside of yourself based on what you do and not based on what you are or what's the experience you're having in the now. We're going to shift that, because when you find your own rhythm, you have no choice but to be in the now and to be present with what's there for you physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. You really get to be in the now of all of it. And that gets to be you presencing what is instead of, well, countering reality or negotiating with what your mind sees as what is, but then your soul self is like, all right. Okay. Let's get into this meditation. If you're driving, just be very conscious of what you are doing. And just a reminder, because I'm not going to talk about this again after the meditation. Feel free to go to claudiasamsoulcoaching.com/align and just reconnect with your soul self. Fill out an inquiry to get curious about where you're at on your growth journey. And you can just inquire and get curious about how align may be a fit for you to have these soul conversations. I would be so happy to read your answers. It has me kind of get closer to you. We get to be more of a heart to heart without being face to face per se, by you. Filling out this form this is really for you, by the way, if you want to deepen your spiritual practices, if you want to dance between ego and soul, if you want to remember the source of who you are, if you're willing to get curious about A Course in Miracles and how that can support you, if you want the ability to learn how to hear the voice of truth within to really choose love over fear, well, this is the place to go. Okay. Let's begin with our meditation. Find a comfortable seated position and trust that you will get grounded and tap into what your own rhythm is. Notice your breath. Allow the in and out of the oxygen and carbon dioxide to flow freely. Try to lengthen the inhale and slow the exhale. Press the feet into the earth as you lift the crown of the head. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back, remembering that you are a soul in this human body. Release any frowning. Relax your jaw. Allow the tongue to settle at the base of the mouth. And notice the rise and fall of your chest as your body is being breathed. Notice if you're clenching, making fists with the hands, or tightening the belly, or gripping at the toes. Let it all go. Become aware now of any mental activity. Maybe you're thinking about something you did just before this meditation. Or maybe you're counting your breath, or maybe your mind goes to something you'll do later. Notice that. Keep breathing. Witnessing where your mind is. Make a conscious choice to let the thoughts go like clouds in the sky and come to this moment now, now, now. Tune in to what is real for your human self right now. Maybe what is real is that you are seated with the feet on the ground. Maybe what is real is that your thighs are feeling your clothes. Maybe what's real is the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Notice anything outside of reality, anything your mind is creating, maybe a story of what it means to wear what you're wearing, how you look, what other people may think. Notice any judgment you're thinking or having about this moment. Take another deep, conscious breath. Open the mouth to exhale. Notice how you feel in your body. Is there a specific area of your physical body that feels more strongly? Like for me right now, I feel like there's a metal plate on my forehead. Sometimes you can feel like a ball in the throat or tension at the jaw or like a ball in the stomach. What is it for you right now? You don't have to change it or make it mean anything. This is you being present with what is. Very gently release that vision of the tension and just keep breathing. You are right here, right now, now, now. Feel the soles of your feet and the crown of your head. And feel the heart beating. This is part of your physical rhythm, always going. Same with the breath. You don't need to work hard, usually, to breathe and for your heart to beat. It's working for you. Everything else you get to allow. There's no forceful energy here. What in your life feels forceful? What are you doing, thinking, choosing that feels forceful to you right now in your life? Take a deep breath in and exhale. Thank you. Is there some space inside of your wholeness for ease? Is there space for ease? What is the goal you are trying to achieve through this action or way of being or thought that feels forceful? What are you trying to achieve? Is there space inside of your wholeness for reaching this goal with more ease? Sink into this now. Feel the soles of your feet grounded in the now. Let your intuition speak. Let your mind hold thoughts only that you share with God. Breathe. With this action that feels forceful and the goal that you're trying to achieve, what would it look like if it were easy? What would it look like if it were easy? Can you choose ease and flow? Breathe. Take a conscious deep breath in. Open the mouth, exhale. Do this 3 more times. Inhale, really feel the breath in through the nose. Exhale, maybe start to widen the fingertips, the fingers, the palm. Breathing in, maybe rolling the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, rolling the shoulder blades back down. Squeezing the thighs with your hands. Inhale, one more. And exhale with the mouth. You can always find your own rhythm when you arrive in presencing the now. Gently bring the palms together at the heart. And then rub the palms together. Place the hands over the eyes, cover the face, relax those shoulders. From the soul layer of yourself to the energy surrounding your body to the emotional layer of yourself, feeling now the thoughts coming back in your head, and now feeling the physical body, hands on your face, flutter the eyelids open, and gently widen the fingers and let light come in. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this meditation, that it helped you to access your own rhythm, your own intuition, feeling consistent in realigning with love right here, right now. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at claudiasamcoaching.com.